Welcome back, Truth Seeker. Since September of 2018, I've told people to circle the date August 11th, 2019, which will be the second day of Tisha B'Av. And I've said this could be the day of the sequel to September 11th, 2001. If you've missed my work on August 11th, 2019, please do check that out. I will link it in the top left corner. It's a very long playlist, tons of information. Anyhow, today, April 15th, 2019, we got two major fires at two religious structures in the world. Notre Dame in Paris and the al-Aqsa Mosque in Jerusalem at Temple Mount. And there's two locations I'm watching for August 11, 2019. One is Temple Mount, and the other is San Francisco. We'll get to why at the end in case you haven't seen me cover this topic. So today, two major fires at two major religious structures. And Tisha B'Av, which is August 11th, 2019, is to remember the destruction of two temples. So look at this. From today, April 15th to August 11th is 118 days. And if you've been following my research on August 11th from the beginning, it started with the encoding of the number 118 in light of the prophecy of the third temple based on the story of a perfect, unblemished red heifer being born in Israel that got a lot of traction in international headlines around the time of September 11th. 118 was encoded. We figured out it was talking about Tisha B'Av, and now we've been just following the riddles ever since. So here we are, 118 days until the day we've been looking at for almost a year, and two holy sites on fire. So, today, April 15th, 2019, and August 11th, 2019, they're both dates with 58 numerology. As we talked about, Donald Trump was at the site of where they planned to build the third temple May 22nd, 2017, 811 days before August 11th. August 11th can also be written 8/11 like 811. Donald Trump is the winner of the 58th U.S. presidential election, which of course was rigged for him. This is the New World Order. Donald Trump's their puppet. Donald Trump ran from the 58-story Trump Tower. He hired the 58-year-old Steve Ray for Inauguration Day. It's been a big number, a big theme with his presidency. And from his upcoming birthday this year to August 11th is 58 days. Notice when you write out 2, it equals 58. Like how Tisha B'Av, August 11th, is to remember the destruction of the two temples. And today we have two holy site fires. The two temples that were destroyed were Solomon's temple, 58, and Herod's temple, 58. The prophecies connected to the third temple, which is supposed to usher in the Jewish Messiah, third temple's 58, like Freemasonry, like Rosicrucian, like secret society. Now, with regards to the al-Aqsa Mosque burning today, that has the GEMATRIA of 141, like San Francisco, California. 811 is the 141st prime. And the reason San Francisco could very well be part of this riddle is because San Francisco is named after Saint Francis of Assisi, whose life has a lot to do with the number 118. The date August 11th is very important to the history of San Francisco, from the opening of Alcatraz to the construction of the Golden Gate Bridge and many more things. The current mayor of San Francisco has an August 11th birthday. She's the 45th mayor. She's going to turn 45 years old that day. The reason San Francisco matters is because of the name of that bridge, the Golden Gate Bridge. The Golden Gate is connected to the prophecy of the third temple and the return of the Jewish Messiah. At the time of the third temple, the Jewish Messiah is supposed to arrive through the Golden Gate. So I've been talking about Tisha B'Av and 2 and why there's two sites I'm watching on that day. Temple Mount in Jerusalem. I should have put Jerusalem up here because Jerusalem also equals 58. and also San Francisco. Again, because the Golden Gate's there and because the date August 11th is so specific to that city. So here we are, 118 days till the big day, and 2 sites in the world, these 2 holy fires. Now keep in mind today, April 15th, it's the 105th day of the year. These are biblical riddles. Bible equals 105. With regards to the New Testament, there's 260 chapters. Zionism is also 105, and the contrived prophecy of the Third Temple is the Zionist agenda, which we're going to cover a little bit more for some review in just a moment. Now consider how today's date's written in the majority of the world. 15/4 like 154. This fire at the mosque is on Temple Mount. Temple Mount 154 like 15/4. Also like ritual sacrifice. Also like King James, who has a Bible named after him. Again, Temple Mount also has the gematria 46, like Catholic, like chaos. Chaos is also 19. The Quran code is centered around the number 19. It's 2019. I put out a video before 2019 began saying that 2019 would be a bad year for Islam in the world. The year began with locusts at Mecca for the first time in recorded history. Locusts equals 19. Please see my video on that. But with regards to Temple Mount and the Catholic Church, the only reason that's become the holy site where the third temple is to be built is because the Catholic Church has recreated history. There's no evidence that the first 2 temples were really there. A lot of Jewish people are under the belief that the Dome of the Rock is taking up the place of the third temple, where the first 2 temples stood. But again, there's no real evidence that that's the case. All of this belief comes from the history of the Catholic Church and the Crusades and the Knights Templar ransacking that area. So they've made the world believe that's the spot for this religious tension. And understand, the controllers of this world, it's all about control. Divide and conquer. Keep the people angry, fighting amongst one another, blaming one another. Speaking of which, we had the recent mosque shootings in Christchurch. And how many mosques were shot? 2. And in October, I said to circle the Ides of March because we'd see some New World Order event. It ended up being the mosque shootings. The first of the 2 mosques shot were at the address 101 Deans Avenue. Ides of March equals 101, so does assassin. The second church that was shot was at the address 223. As I covered in an earlier video, August 11th is the 223rd day of the year. And notice that the zip code for both of those mosques was 8011. Does that remind you of the date? 8th month, 11th day, 8/11? It sure does for me. And I was talking about this then. And now that we have this event today with the 2 religious sites burning, 118 days before the target date, my eyes are really perking up. After the mosque shootings in Christchurch, you had this headline: Mosque attack, London mosque attack, racist thug calls Muslim worshippers terrorists and hammer attack. And look at the reporting. The Met Police, who were called to the scene at 1:18 p.m. today. Does that remind you of the date, August 11th? Then right after that, you get this: man arrested in U.S. after discussing desire to avenge Christchurch mosque attacks. And this story was out of Montana. Montana, interesting, because Montana was established November 8th. Now that's not August 11th, but that is another 11/8 date. And if you look up, there's a movie coming out on November 8th, Sonic the Hedgehog, and the movie poster is him on the Golden Gate Bridge. The Golden Gate that got its work permit for construction to start August 11th. Robin Williams, who has his name right there on the sign by the bridge, who died August 11th. So here's what else is up. Israel, established May 14th, 1948 by the Code. That means 2019, May 14th, Israel's going to turn 71 years old. And Israel is part of a Zionist agenda. If you're new to my work, See my work on the Balfour Declaration, the World Wars, the establishment of Israel, Theodore Herzl. All of this stuff is essential knowledge. But this year is 71 years, and temple equals 71. This is what the Zionists want. They want the third temple to usher in the Jewish Messiah. TAMMUZ is also 71, the text that the Zionists go by. Now notice May 14th, the day that Israel was established, is the 134th day of the year. Tisha B'Av equals 134. 9th of Av equals 134. These are the same thing. This is the Jewish way to say, to remember the destruction of the two temples. This is the English way to say it. 9th of Av. These are the exact same thing. The name Netanyahu is 134. We just had the Battle of the Benjamins by the numbers. No doubt Netanyahu was scripted for the throne the whole time. Benjamin Netanyahu in Hebrew is 134. And from August 11th to Netanyahu's birthday, which maybe I forgot to put up here. Well, I did. Netanyahu's birthday is October 21st. Here it is. From Netanyahu's birthday to the date of August 11th is a distance of 71 days this year, in the 71st year of Israel. You see? So, again, there's a whole lot more to this too. August 11th, not only is it Tisha B'Av, but it'll be the Muslim day of sacrifice. It'll also be the time of the Hajj, when Islamic people are making their way to Mecca. So these sites are going to be packed this year on August 11th. And, the world needs to know what's going on. And understand, this isn't about living in fear or fretting August 11th. This is about understanding how the powers that shouldn't be are controlling this world, the rituals they're performing, the chaos they're purposefully bringing about, the division and hate they're purposefully bringing about. I understood this was going on the day September 11th happened, and I made it my mission that day to help the people of the world wake up to the lies and the deception. And I figured out these people work by numbers, and they foreshadow what they're going to do next. And they drop riddles and clues as part of an ongoing story and narrative. Again, this whole story that was circulating about the red heifer, unblemished, the prophecy, Revelation, the third temple. I said, I see what they're doing here. And again, with regards to 9/11, remember how many buildings fell that day? Well, a lot of people will answer 2. Really, 3 did fall, but most people remember the 2 towers, buildings 1 and 2, not building 7 that fell 8 hours later in the day. And I want to pull up the GEMATRIA calculator. If you use Jewish GEMATRIA, very important cipher, and you type in Tisha B'Av, notice it equals 911. 911. Tisha B'Av, to remember the destruction of the 2 towers, the 2 temples, the first of which was Solomon's temple. Do you remember what the name of the third building was that fell on September 11th? If you don't, it was the Solomon Brothers building. So, we'll leave it there, True Seeker. No doubt today's fire is intentionally set. Read the stories. They're saying that the precious artworks and statues had been removed from Notre Dame just yesterday. Oh, what a coincidence. That's what they love to feed us. Coincidence. We're just supposed to sit here and always twiddle our thumbs and go, oh man, another major coincidence. The days of coincidence are over, True Seeker. Until next time.